So copy all of these instructions in first. That really helps me if I see the points that I'm supposed to give and all of that. Do your own work. I had 2 people who copied answers from the internet and they got a 0 on that section. Don't do it. Doesn't help you at all if you don't know the information. So this says, answer the question in a full sentence. A full sentence means you have a subject and verb. So what is a clause? A clause is any group of words that include a subject and verb. A clause is any group of words that include a subject and verb. Now, a clause is not a sentence, right? One clause can be a sentence. You can have a one clause sentence would be something like, she went home. That's a sentence. But if most types of clauses are not sentences. A time clause is not a sentence. When she went home. When she went home, what? That's not a sentence. So a clause is a group of words. It's a group of words that include a subject and verb. It can have a lot of words in it. It usually has a conjunction. It usually has some other stuff, not just the subject and verb. Simple present. Simple present means usually, always, fact, habit, or never. Simple present can mean now if you're using a non-action verb, like I need to go to the bathroom. Right? That's simple present because it's a non-action. Need is not an action. If it's an action, that would be present progressive. I'm writing this sentence now. So those of you who copied a sentence, copied one that said it also is for actions happening now. And that's not simple present. An action happening now is going to be present progressive, not simple present. The difference between will and be going to. Will is a promise or decision. Be going to is a future plan. That's the difference. Either one can be soon, either one can be farther out. Will is a promise or a decision. I will get this. Be going to is a future plan. I'm going to pick up food from my local taco shop tonight because they're finally open. When do you use commas with time clauses? If the time clause comes first, before the main clause, you put a comma at the end of that time clause. And we'll practice that a lot in the sentences. So, the boy ride a bicycle. Most of you did really well on this section. A couple of you didn't use the boy and the ride and the bicycle, but most of you did really well on this section. The boy rides a bicycle. The boy rides. Simple present. It's a singular subject. So with a singular subject in simple present, you have to have that S. The negative, when we put doesn't, we have the S on do and base form after do. The S is on do and use base form after do. In past, the boy rode a bicycle. So you had to know what that past tense was. When you make it a question, you put that do in front and it's past, so that's the past of do, and always base form after do. The past of do comes first, base form after do. Simple future with will, the boy will ride a bicycle. Base form after will. The negative of will, so will ride, and you can say will not ride, but we usually don't. We usually say won't ride. Will not is okay. So I guess I shouldn't cross it out because will not is okay, but will not is much stronger. When you make it two words, it's I will not ride, right? Because it's that will decision, promise, and will not is much stronger than just I won't. Be going to, oops, that. Start with my first sentence again. Be going to, so we have the boy, so it is going to, and is going to plus a base form verb. Be going to plus base form. In the question, what we do is take that is going to ride, we take that is and put it in front. When you do that, you have to fix the capital letters. Is the boy going to ride a bicycle? And make sure you have a question mark at the end. Present progressive. The boy is, and so we're doing present is riding. So present progressive is be plus ing, the main verb in ing. The main verb in ing in progressive. The main verb is in base form in simple future. The main verb is in ing form in present progressive. Present progressive question, we again have the is in front. Is the boy riding a bicycle? Oh, this one was not a question. There we go. Present progressive and future meaning. Most of you got that. So it's present progressive, not going to. Not going to. It's is the boy riding a bicycle tomorrow? It's not a question, so this goes over here. The boy is riding. When it's a question, the verb goes in front. When it's not a question, the verb goes after the subject. Is the boy riding? The boy is riding. And then the negative, the boy isn't writing. So you just add that not onto the helping verb, isn't writing. In past progressive, so instead of is writing, we have was writing. So progressive, all progressive is be plus ing, and this is past progressive, means past of be. The main verb is still ing, we're just changing the is to was. The boy was riding a bicycle. And the negative, we just add a not, just like we did with isn't. We add a not here, wasn't riding a bicycle. In present perfect, the helping verb is have, so that's has for the boy, and the main verb is a past participle. Have plus past participle. So that's has, because it's the boy with an S verb, and the past participle, ridden. And if we want to make that a question, we take that has and put it in front. So it's just a word order thing. Has the boy ridden a bicycle? So when you have the subject verb, that's a statement. When you have the verb before the subject, that's a question. All right, let me write a sentence with a plural noun subject in simple past, a plural noun. Plural noun. So my children bought flowers. Now, they is a pronoun, not a noun. So some of you used they or we. That's not a noun, that's a pronoun. You want a noun, plural noun, my children, simple past. Change that to negative. My children didn't buy flowers. Change the subject to singular. My daughter didn't buy flowers. So I'm just changing that subject to singular. And then I'm changing that to simple present. My daughter doesn't buy flowers. And then I'm going to change that to a question. Does my daughter buy flowers? And then this one is my bad. So I did change the D to be going to. I meant change E to be going to. So I accepted both of those answers, but what I wanted was to keep it a question. Change that question to be going to future. But if you change D, which was not a question, that's okay. So is my daughter going to buy flowers? Is the question. Yeah. Write a new sentence with a direct object and prepositional phrase in present perfect. So I didn't say what kind of subject. You can use I if you want to. I didn't say what kind of subject. In present perfect with direct object and prepositional phrase. I have painted my room. I have painted the wall in my room. Okay, so that's direct object, prepositional phrase, and present perfect. You want to double check that you have each of those items. And then we're changing that to a question. If you change that to a question, you want to switch that word order. Have you painted the wall in your room? Now, have I doesn't make a lot of sense because I would know the answer to that, but I don't care. It's okay. And then change that to simple past. So we're going from this one to simple past. So we change the helping verb and then fix the verb form, right? So when you're changing a question, you change the helping verb from does to is, and then you have to change the form. After do, base form. After be, ing. So have you painted? Did you paint? And again, I messed up on these numbering. So if you did be, that's okay, I accept. What I wanted was C, and both of those, I accepted both of those. What I wanted was C, changing that, the simple past, back to a statement, because that's what you haven't done yet. So, did you paint? When you want to change did you paint back to a statement, well, you don't need the do anymore. The do doesn't really have any meaning. In simple past, it's just painted. You painted. So that's why I had that instruction. I messed up on the numbers. So I accepted anything. Let me do one more and then I'll pause for questions. Write a sentence in simple present with a singular noun subject, direct object, and a prepositional phrase. My husband watches TV in the living room. Somebody needs to turn off your other sound. Thank you. Add a time clause at the end. Now let's check this. It's simple present, watches. It has a singular noun, not I, you, he, she, it, but a noun, subject. It has a direct object, watches what? Watches TV. It has a prepositional phrase, in the living room. So you just want to double check that you have every piece of that. Now we're going to add a time clause at the end, not at the beginning. Sometimes I say to put it at the beginning, sometimes I say to put it at the end, because it depends on whether you need a comma. And I want to know if you know, at the end, no comma, at the beginning, there's a comma. So my husband watches TV in the living room while I make dinner. So there's no comma if the time clause is last. Then we're going to add a because clause. My husband watches TV in the living room while I make dinner because I want the kitchen to myself. He's not very helpful in the kitchen, so tell him to go watch TV. Because I want the kitchen to myself. But, now but has a comma. But has a comma. You added that time clause, no comma. When you added the but, when you add the because, there's no comma. When you add the but, there is a comma. So you're adding this but clause. My husband watches TV in the living room while I make dinner because I want the kitchen to himself, but he does the dishes after dinner. Okay, so I'm going to pause. Step 4, write a sentence in be going to future with a plural noun subject. So again, a plural noun, not a pronoun, but a noun. So be going to future. My sister is going to fly to New York next week. Is going to fly. Now, no, that needs a plural noun. That needs a plural noun. So nope, that won't work. So double check. My siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow. That's plural. My siblings means my brother and my sister, where the three of us are meeting together on Zoom tomorrow. My siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow. So that's a be going to future with a plural noun subject. Yeah, okay? Add a time clause at the beginning. Now, when you have a time clause at the beginning, then you need a comma, a time clause. After we look at Mom's finances, my siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow. And so we're going to have all of that. I just copy all of that in and add to it. Meet with me on Zoom tomorrow so we can complete her estate finances. My mother died 1 year ago, and so it's time to finish that and clear everything. So my siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow. After we look at Mom's finances, my siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow. So we're adding that time clause on the beginning with a comma. After we look at Mom's finances, my siblings are going to meet with me on Zoom tomorrow so we can complete her estate finances. Now, I did not say which so to put, and I did not take any points off if you did the wrong one. There are two so's. The so coordinating conjunction, always, comma, means therefore, or as a result. So, or so that, an adverb conjunction, no comma if it's second, means for, I can type, for this purpose or with this intention. Why we do it. So in this case, this is why we're doing it, so that we can do that. That's the adverb so, and there's no comma. But if you didn't know that, I took no points off. I don't expect you to know that yet. All right, step 5, a sentence in present perfect with a direct object. Direct object. So you can use I didn't say what subject. I have seen the movie. I have seen the movie. So that's present perfect with a direct object. Since I have that in red here, I have seen the movie since we have been sheltering in place. Right, so that's since time clause. When I put the since at the end, there is no comma. If I put the since at the beginning, there is a comma. If it's at the end, no comma, right? With those adverb clauses, you can switch those. Now with but, always a comma with but. I've seen the movie since we've been sheltering in place, but I didn't like it. The two prepositional phrases. Okay, I've seen the movie since we've been sheltering in place, but I didn't like it. Now I need to add two prepositional phrases. I've seen the movie on Netflix since we have been sheltering in place at home, but I didn't like it. So I'm adding two prepositional phrases. And some of you had a lot of prepositional phrases already, but you didn't add two. Okay. Set 6. Write a sentence in present progressive and future meaning. Present progressive and future meaning. The form is present progressive, the meaning is future. We are driving to Napa tomorrow. Not true, we're just staying home, but we're driving to Napa tomorrow. Are driving. Present progressive is be plus ing. The main verb is ing. Adding a time clause. Now I can add the time clause at the beginning or the end. If the time clause is at the beginning, there's a comma. If it's at the end, there's no comma. After I finish class, we are driving to Napa tomorrow. Now, part of why I asked for that time clause is no will in time clauses, right? Time clauses in future time step back to simple present form. After I finish class, we are driving to Napa tomorrow. Because after I finish class, we are driving to Napa tomorrow because it is a beautiful drive. No comma before because. So you have a comma with the because and with the time clauses. They're all adverbs. If you put them first, there's a comma. Second, no comma. The last, build a sentence. Write a sentence in simple past negative. The bird didn't build her nest here. I had a bird looking at my birdhouse out there, and she went in and out and in and out and in and out, said, maybe this is good, but then her partner said no, and they flew away. He was yelling, 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 because he saw me looking through the window. Add a time clause. The bird didn't build her nest here after they saw me through the window. Bird didn't build her nest here after they saw me through the window and they thought it wasn't safe. So the bird didn't build her nest here. Now this is all in past. This is all in past. You're starting in past, so that time clause needs to be past time. The and needs to be past time, unless it makes sense. Sometimes it makes sense because I broke my leg, I will not drive, right? Sometimes it can be two different times, but pretty much it needs to be the same time. That all should be in past. Right, I'll pause this for questions.
Miss Pearl, yes.
Write about your summer plans in be going to future or present progressive and future meaning. So be going to future means the main verb is in base form. The will future main verb is in base form also, but I didn't ask for that. And then the progressive, the main verb is in ing. Both the be going to future and the present progressive in future meaning have the same meaning of future plans. So those two have the same meaning. You need to write at least 4 sentences. That means 4 periods. Include at least 2 time clauses, and I put those in yellow, and at least 2 prepositional phrases of time, I put those in blue. All right, so how do I tell it to stop highlighting? Stop highlighting, thank you. Okay, so future plans be going to. This summer, I am going to stay at home because the virus is still out there. While I stay at home, I am going to teach a Spanish class online. I am also going to help my department redo its website. I will host a sewing group on Tuesday mornings. I want to stay, oh, I will, not I am hosting. No will. I am hosting a sewing group on Tuesday mornings. I want to stay very busy while I have to stay at home. Okay, so let's see. Do I have everything I need? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 sentences. Okay. Do I have 2 time clauses? While I stay at home, that's 1. And while I have to stay at home. Those are kind of the same thing, but that's okay. And maybe I'll change one of them so it's not the same. On Tuesday mornings. All right, so I need another prepositional phrase of time. So what I do when I'm doing this is write your content, write what you mean, and then fix to my instructions, right? So just write your real answer, and then make sure you have 4 sentences and 2 time clauses and 2 prepositional phrases of time. This summer, I'm going to stay at home during the day That's a prepositional phrase of time because the virus is still out there. I want to stay very busy. Let's change this to a different time clause. Until it is safe to go back to school in person. Okay. Okay, so that has two time clauses, two prepositional phrases of time, the be going to future, the present progressive and future meaning, and at least 4 sentences. So when you are doing this, make sure you go back and read the instructions. Read the instructions before you answer, and read the instructions again after you answer to be sure you did what I asked. Okay, so let me stop this.